Thanks so much for joining me again, Pisces. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au, and it's really good to have you back. If you're new here, welcome. I'll be talking just a little bit about your horoscope for the month of May. And right now what I'm seeing is, there's a continuing frustration for many of you born under the sign of the fish, with Mars and Saturn transiting your 10th house of career. And that's going to continue, unfortunately, probably up till around August or September, when Mars then makes its pass over Saturn. But up till then, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to deal with your employers in a very, very clever way. And what I'm seeing for you really has a lot to do with breaking habits. What are those habits? In some ways, the third house, along with the sixth house, relate to habits and the day-to-day routine of how we conduct ourselves in our life. But I think there are deeper habits or patterns at stake here, and they relate to the habits of thinking, the habits of reaction, the habits of the way you deal with the people in your environment, your family members, the habits of the way you deal with the people you love. But the most important habit that we need to look at and scrutinize is the habit of how we deal with ourselves. As I continually say, the relationship with every other person on the planet, no matter who they are, is secondary to the relationship you have with yourself. Now, being born under the final sign of evolution, the sign of Pisces, you are better equipped than most to understand that the thinking mind is not really the superior mind. And the new moon, which occurs on the 7th, is going to trigger a whole lot of insight into this. If you're quick enough to catch yourself out, you'll start to see these habits. I call them brain bubbles. There's this stream of thoughts that seems to be going on. Just like you wake up, you have your shower, you eat, you go to work, do your job, come home, have your dinner, watch TV, go to bed. That's the habitual outer routine. There's that habitual inner routine. The brain bubbles just seem to function in the way they do. There's a reaction to certain things the way you've always reacted. This month is important for you because it shows that you're able to break that cycle, to step back and observe the brain bubbles. Observe just how your mind is functioning, how you react habitually, especially with people you live with, family, spouse, lover. There's this groove that you get into. So the lesson this month, I think, for you, because it's not just about, in fact, it's very little about what happens in the outer world. The outer world is a whole lot of events, neutral events. How you're dealing with those events, Pisces, is really the determinant of whether you're happy or not, fulfilled or not, enlightened or not in this life. So it's a significant new moon that is calling you to look carefully at the habits of your mind, the habits of your response, and to break those patterns. You have an excellent opportunity after the 9th when your ruling planet, which is in the 7th house of partnership, moves direct, moves into very close contact with the North Node, the karma point. You've got that Mars and Saturn duo in the 10th house of career, or self-development too. You've got Jupiter in the North Node in that 7th house, also the foreground of relationships. You've got Venus, Sun and Mercury in the 3rd house of communication, mental patterns. And these are all going to play an important role in your life. There's a strong triangular aspect between the Jupiter and those 3 planets in your 3rd house, the way you communicate to other people. Believe it or not, just changing those patterns is one of the big secrets of great success. Those people who simply follow the patterns that they've followed for years and lives, if you believe in reincarnation, are destined to probably do that over and over again for the rest of this life, maybe lives to come. So I'm asking you to just simply step back, watch yourself, experiment, explore. Be adventurous with your mind. Try different approaches to communication. Study books on neuro-linguistic programming, how to embed your communication with different messages, how to read different messages in what people are saying to you. This month is significant. And the full moon that takes place on the 22nd in your career sector is going to be a testament to that, especially if you can use the forward motion of Mercury on the same day to empower your communication with important messages, subliminal messages. How you deal with others is not simply what is said on the superficial level. As I said to one of the other star signs today, communication is predominantly non-verbal. Understanding those non-verbal cues is, I think, what's important now. Linguistics, communication, travel, connections with other cultures, expanding your mental awareness of self and others. These are the important things for you this month, during the month of May. And there's more at astrology.com.au if you'd like to pop in there before I see you here again next month, I hope, to talk more about the ongoing life of the Piscean, which means you. Take care now. Look forward to your company again next month. Bye-bye.